Hello!
Hello!
We are really excited to be back and reacting to another trailer today.
Because
It's a musical! Which we love because we met doing a musical and it's one of the passions of our life to do musical theater.
Yes.
And, well, what better way to expose a whole new audience to theater than through a big motion picture? And this one was written by a special genius named Lin-Manuel Miranda.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah, he only wrote this tiny show called Hamilton and was also in this little movie called Mary Poppins Returns and worked on this tiny animated feature called Moana. So, in case you didn't know.
Get out from under the rock.
Yeah, the shiny rock. Anyway.
And this one is In the Heights, and I have actually seen this musical on stage twice. I think it is an amazing show. The music is great. The story is wonderful. The spirit and the feeling of the show is awesome. And I really think that it's the perfect musical to be made into a movie musical. I'm stoked. And there are so many great people who are going to be in this.
Yes,
First
the cast.
of all, the cast. So the film stars Anthony Ramos, who, if you've seen Hamilton, you will know he played Philip and what's the other track he was?
Philip Schuyler, and I believe he was somebody else in the show. I can't think of
He's
his
one of
other
the guys
track.
in the beginning.
Yes, he's one of the crew of soldiers. I can't think of his name though.
We really love the musical, though. I promise. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we know all the characters.
Also has Daphne Rubin Vega, who, if you are familiar with the musical Rent, she was the original Mimi.
Yes, and she is a wonderful performer. She's been in a ton of Broadway shows, even straight plays, has been nominated for multiple Tonys. Really great performer.
Another name on here that I recognize is Dasha Polanco, who I love. She's from Orange is the New Black. Her character was fantastic in that show, and I'm just stoked to see her on the big screen. I think that she's a talent that more people need to know about. So I'm stoked that she's in this movie.
And Jimmy Smits, who is a huge, incredible actor. We recently just saw him in the 3rd season of Dexter.
Ooh, who does he play?
He was the friend, the friend of Dexter who wanted to become a serial killer as well. Remember? He's only like the main guy in the
Miguel.
Miguel. There we go.
So
I couldn't
sorry.
remember his name.
I could be a lot better.
I just knew him as Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy Smits. Totally.
Anyway, the film is directed, In the Heights is directed by John M. Chu. And John M. Chu directed Crazy Rich Asians, which was a fantastic film.
I loved that movie. I still think that movie has one of the most iconic wedding scenes of all time.
Really beautiful.
I just melt every time I see that wedding scene. If you haven't seen it, you just have to see it. And I just loved that movie. I could watch it over and over again.
Yes.
Obsessed.
And the film will be released by Warner Brothers, and it will also, on the same day it's being released, which is June 11th, 2021, it will be available on HBO Max for streaming.
That's super interesting.
Yeah. So I think without further ado, we should get into the trailer. Here we go.
What does Juanito mean?
Sueñito.
Lin-Manuel.
It means little dream.
I'm already moved.
That's it? No story?
Alright, everybody sit down. It's a story of a block that was...
Getting Moana vibes.
That's definitely Aladdin vibes, like Will Smith as the genie.
Tell the story.
The streets were made of music. You probably never heard my name.
Opening number.
He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy!
Jimmy
There you
Smits.
go.
There we be.
On these blocks, you can't walk 2 steps without bumping into someone's big plan. I'm making moves, I'm making deals.
The world of this is looking really realistic. It's looking like totally like you're planted right there in that neighborhood.
I was saving up all my pennies in my piggy bank for this day. This is going to be an emotional roller coaster. The odds are against you. But there's a chance
isn't some sparkly
Colors are
diamond.
great.
I'm like about to cry.
Shortcuts. Sometimes it's rough. In the heights, on the street light, choking on the heat. The world spins around while I'm frozen to my seat. In the heights. They're talking about kicking out all the dreamers. But every day is different, so it's gonna make some noise.
We had to assert our dignity in small ways.
Just listen.
Little details that tell the world we are not invisible.
Ignore anyone who doubts you.
Wow. Oh, the choreography in the pool looks really cool. Wow.
I love that.
That looked amazing. This is, I mean, you're getting like chills throughout the entire thing. I am, at least.
I know, I have complete chills.
Yeah.
I was really moved and just so happy. It's amazing to see the thing you love the most in the world up on a screen. And I think having known the plot and seeing the show, I feel like this really stays true to the story, but also adds to it by throwing in the cinematic elements. And I always think that there's nothing that can kind of recreate the world of being at a musical live. And I feel like this has done a really good job of kind of putting me in the mood of what it feels like when I'm watching a show.
Yeah.
But also, keeping it in that film world, which is so hard to do. I think that's why a lot of movie musicals sometimes miss the mark, because I don't think that they're able to make the jump from stage to screen. But this one was seamless. I cannot wait.
Yeah, and I know I got like La La Land vibes from the choreography, like the way they were, especially like the pool and like the big crowds of people in the street. And I loved the way they choreographed that film, and I love the score to In the Heights so much. So to see those come together looks great.
And they really, especially with this trailer, they knew which song and which orchestration to kind of weave throughout the clips that they showed. And I feel like, knowing the plot, I feel like, I'm like, oh my gosh, they've captured the entire plot in the trailer, and I'm so stoked. I cannot wait for this movie.
Yeah. And
when does it come out?
It comes out June 11th, 2021. But anyone who knows Hamilton and just know it's a different thing than Hamilton, if you don't know In the Heights as well, I feel like it's a simpler story. It's more like down to basics about a family. It's not like this giant America history thing. It really takes you like a scope into this family's life. And I think that it lends itself to being a movie because you get to be more intimate with these characters.
Yeah, and it shows a community and a world and the family's place within that community and all of the people that they meet. And I just feel like going through your own neighborhood, anywhere you live, you meet your local, guy at the coffee shop, your local barista, you have your favorite person who works at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I love that this is very much kind of part of the story as well.
Yeah, and also that they're using Broadway performers, because sometimes it's frustrating when they make a film and they just cast a bunch of Hollywood names and you're like, why can't any of these people sing or dance? And this is like, okay, Anthony Ramos, who's made a name in film with Star is Born and a couple other films, and but we also know he's can cut it up in a musical. So we've got him. Lin-Manuel makes an appearance, I know, as Piragua. Daphne Rubin Vega, who's like a great Broadway performer. All these people who are like actual singers and dancers.
Right. And main cast aside, they cast performers, like triple threat performers, to be in this. And I think that's so important. I want nothing more than for there to be musical theater jobs on film. And I think that kind of takes us back to the heart of old Hollywood. And that's what the old movie musicals used to do. You used to have to be a triple threat performer to be in those musicals, or you know, at least have something about you that was really backgrounded in stage. And I am just so stoked to see life given to performers.
Yes! And with that, we will see you on June 11th for the amazing In the Heights.
Oh, I can't wait.